guys, welcome to a video, and in today's video I just wanted to share what I think are the 10 best black lesbian films out there. I wanted to put this list together because there's not enough exposure or support for black lesbian cinema, and I thought it would be helpful to create a list which people could refer to. I've also taken care to include films either written or directed by black or biracial women because I feel it's really important that stories about black or biracial women are told and envisioned by black or biracial women, since throughout history they have been denied voicing their own lived experiences, which has resulted in distortion and systemic erasure. It's also important to note with this list that most black lesbian cinema is created outside of Hollywood and often stems from independent creators or grassroots distribution networks. So this list is a reflection of that. I actually struggled to put this list of just 10 black lesbian films by black or biracial women together because there's such a lack of resources and support available for black lesbian productions, which means that there's not a lot of it. And if I compare this to making a list about white lesbian productions by white women, the difference in the content available is staggering. So, by that fact alone, you can see how important it is to support black lesbian content envisioned and created by black women. So, at number 10, we have the 2022 film Valley of a Thousand Hills, directed by Bonnie Sitaba. Valley of a Thousand Hills is about a young woman who comes from a conservative village and who must choose between living a lie to stay the perfect Zulu daughter or risk her life for true love. I've included this film on the list because I thought it was really interesting to see lesbianism approached through a different cultural lens, and also because this is an incredibly well-made film which carries a potent message about the importance of women breaking free of oppressive traditions and putting their own needs and desires first. I should give a disclaimer that this film has a very, very tragic ending which left me in tears, and also contains sexual violence. But that doesn't take away from its overarching message that lesbian relationships are pure and natural, and those who seek to oppose and demonize them are the ones in the wrong. At number 9, we have the South African short film Gang 888, written and directed by Banzi Mavuzu. Gang 888 is about 5 black lesbians who walk a dangerous road of revenge and retribution against toxic masculinity. All 5 women are militant about reclaiming their power in South Africa and living on their own terms, rather than as victims. I've included this short film on the list because I've never seen anything like this film before. Gang 888 gives a very bold and unapologetic statement about acknowledging and standing up to the oppression that black women, particularly black lesbian and gender non-conforming women, face daily in South Africa. It does get a bit weird when they decide to kidnap a man, but other than that, I think it's a very bold and brilliant piece of art in the face of very real and extreme misogyny. At number 8, we have Stud Life, which was written and directed by Campbell X. Stud Life is about JJ, a lesbian who works as a wedding photographer with Seb, a gay man who is her best friend. After JJ falls in love with a gorgeous diva, her friendship with Seb becomes strained, and she may be forced to choose between him and her lover. I've included this film on the list because it's unique in its portrayal of butch and gender non-conforming black lesbians, and also its exploration of the intersection between blackness and lesbianism. Stud Life also explores various forms of prejudices from different angles, including from inside the lesbian community. It is slightly lacking in production quality, and from a technical standpoint, it's a little shaky on the ground, but the content rather than how the content is packaged is what's important with this film. At number 7, we have the short film Seven, written, directed and edited by Alexander King. Seven is a magical tragic romance where 2 women have an emotional first encounter that changes life as they know it. I've included this film on the list because I really enjoyed the artistic direction in it, especially its use of colour and the way in which King captures the intimacy between these 2 two women through the cinematography. The two leads also provide a lot of depth with their acting, but what I love the most about this film is how engaging and deeply romantic it is. That's still refreshing to see in this day and age, and I feel like King has left her own unique print on lesbian cinema with this production. At number 6, we have the short film Spilt Milk, directed by Sierra Glaudet. Spilt Milk is about a single mother, Jimena, who moves back in with her parents while struggling to care for her young son. She ends up reconnecting with her ex-partner Lena, and an old wound is reopened. So I've included this film on the list because it explores a narrative which we don't often see in lesbian cinema. It's rare to see the portrayal of a lesbian single mother, and it's even rarer to see what happens when one mother walks out on another. Spilt Milk also touches upon themes of race and class in an intelligent way, and the whole production is very crisp. The fantastic acting, intelligent writing, and beautiful cinematography all play a part in what makes this film worth watching. At number 5, we have Bessie, directed by the incredibly talented Dee Rees, who is just a fantastic filmmaker. I really enjoy her work, and Bessie is no exception. Bessie is about the American blues singer Bessie Smith, and it focuses on her transformation as a struggling young singer into the Empress of the Blues. This film is definitely one of the best explorations of black female sexuality on this list, purely because it doesn't sugarcoat anything, including Bessie Smith's bisexuality, something that was very much historically erased. And this film shines a light on just how incredible of a woman Bessie Smith was and the incredible impact she had on the music industry. This film is also incredibly interesting from a historical perspective because it explores themes of race, class, and sexuality in early 20th century America, which was an incredibly socio-economically turbulent time. Queen Latifah gives a phenomenal performance, and that combined with Dee Rees' artistic vision makes it chef's kiss. At number 4, we have the short film Tender. Written and directed by Felicia Pride, Tender is about two Generation X black women who have to deal with the morning after a one-night stand. I've included this film on the list because I thought the exploration of the self through the other was a really interesting concept, and I like the dynamic and chemistry between the two leads. I also love the way that this film fleshed out its female characters and brought their two very different energies together. The film is also very well made from a technical standpoint. The cinematography was intimate and told a story in itself. And overall, this production is just such a thoughtful, intelligent piece of work. At number 3, we have the incredibly iconic film The Watermelon Woman, famously written and directed by Cheryl Dunye. The Watermelon Woman is a seminal work of autofiction in which a young black lesbian filmmaker named Cheryl searches for the identity of a black actress who played a mammy character in a 1930s drama. In the credits, the mysterious actress is listed only as the Watermelon Woman, complicating Cheryl's mission. So obviously I've included this film in the list because it's not only the first ever black lesbian film, it's the first ever feature-length film to have a black lesbian director. And The Watermelon Woman is just interesting and intelligent on so many levels. It's a breath of fresh air, even in today's climate, to just have that authentic voice coming through the screen. The Watermelon Woman is culturally and historically significant, and it's a much-loved classic for a reason. At number 2, we have Rafiki, written and directed by Wanuri Kayu. Rafiki is a story of romance that grows between two young women, Kenna and Ziki, amidst family and political pressures around LGBT rights in Kenya. I've included this film on the list because it's genuinely one of the best lesbian films that I've ever seen. I was particularly blown away with the art direction. The colour palette in this film is gorgeous, and it's almost like a living, breathing painting at times. This film is not only an incredibly well-made piece of art, its existence is also radical, considering how homophobic the climate in Kenya is. is. Rafiki is an important and gorgeous piece of cinema, and if you haven't already seen it, you really should. And at number 1, we have Pariah. Written and directed by Dee Rees, Pariah tells the story of a 17-year-old black lesbian who's learning to navigate and embrace her identity. Now, Pariah is at the top of my list because it really is just an incredibly well-made film, and definitely one of the best lesbian films that I've ever seen. The cinematography is so intimate, and the performances in this piece are so raw and so engaging. Rees has a talent for capturing emotion, which is signature to a lot of her work, and this film really is the definition of high art. Pariah also differs from a lot of other productions on this list because the narrative focuses on a young woman coming to terms with her sexuality and feeling comfortable with herself in a hostile environment rather than revolving around a romance. There is a romantic element to this film, but it's not the sole focus, and I like that this film explored other aspects of lesbianism outside of it. Pariah really is just a beautiful work of art. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any recommendations for black lesbian cinema down in the comments section below. Please remember to support black female filmmakers, particularly independent ones, even if that's just simply by sharing their work. Don't forget to subscribe for instant disappointment, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!